There we go. So you have a big day at your company today.
Yeah, I work for a company called Sensor Tower, and we acquired our biggest competitor today. So our little part of the market is almost fully consolidated. There's some others that you could consider, but yeah, it's a big day for us.
Awesome. Congratulations. That's great. That's should be a big thing for you as well personally because you have stock options in the company. So that's great. Cool. So, yeah, big celebration today. Did anybody do anything?
Oh no, not really. There's just a all hands meeting. We're pretty much all remote, so there's no big celebration or anything like that, as far as I know.
Okay, cool. All right. Well,
Should we dive in?
um, yeah, let's dive in. What's the questions today? I forgot them already.
All right. First question: what's one of your craziest stories from your teenage years?
Lord. Well, I guess one of them is that um, when I was in high school and we used to hang out with guys, a couple of us used to hang out with some guys who were somewhat older than us, and they had no problem buying us beer. So we would have a tailgate party in this ancient graveyard that's known as Sarah's Grave. And it was supposedly haunted and stuff. And we hung out down there and, just hanging around the back end of the truck and horsing around and playing games and not doing anything, talking a lot and drinking beer. And never saw any ghosts or anything there. We um, joke about it and tease people about it, like there's a ghost over there, that kind of stuff. And it was never like some people would get kind of spooked, especially if we brought girls out there. They would get kind of spooked. So, but one day, my best bud and I, um, Bob Schaub, were hanging out over there, and we were wrestling around. And this graveyard is kind of on a rise right over the Mohican River, and we were wrestling around, and we went over the edge on this steep hill down by, and going and kind of we're sliding down toward the river. And when we stopped sliding, these two bottles, ancient bottles of whiskey and white lightning, came sliding down right to us. So apparently somebody had put them on there. And so, we're young and stupid. We each opened up a bottle, and that was some of the most aged, mellow whiskey I have ever had in my life. And then we tasted the White Lightning, same thing. It was just old, old, old. I don't know how long those bottles had been there, but they were old. And the whiskey inside of them was probably, definitely some of the best that I've ever had. So, yep, there's one of my crazy stories. We got both of them were about half full, and we got kind of drunk from that. But that was yeah, a good, crazy, memorable time
So you and your friends hung out in a graveyard?
in a graveyard. Can you believe it? It was it was just a small patch that was kind of like a pull off from the um, main gravel road that was going down through there, and there was just kind of a place where you could turn off and sit there over the river, and it was a really pretty nice place. And I remember the moon shining over us and stuff, um, and there was the one graveyard marker that was still there, and it was Sarah something or other, and I forget what the last name was, but she so it was called Sarah's Graveyard because there was one marker for Sarah there. And you know, yep, hanging out in the graveyard, wrestling and talking with my buds and getting drunk. uh
Why a
I
graveyard
highly
though? There wasn't want anywhere else to go, or is that just a nice spot?
it was a good place where nobody would bother us. Nobody wanted to go down there because it was haunted. But we
Hmm.
didn't care. So
There you go.
yeah,
Well, fun.
yeah, that was
All
cool.
right. Next question then. What advice would you give a teenager now?
What advice would I give a teenager now?
Yeah.
Um, I like the words of former General of the Army Colin Powell, and he says, how did he say it? Um, it's never as bad as it seems. And
Yeah.
he'd been in like the middle of battle throughout his life, and when things are at their worst, he said, "Yeah, don't get too excited. It's never as bad as it seems." And whenever you actually go into battle and things are bad, and you know, it's don't get too upset about it. Keep your head about you, because you're going to figure out a way out of what's going on and a way for to move forward. So it's never as bad as it seems. Stay cool.
Never
That
bad
would
as
be
it
my
seems.
yeah.
Right. Nice advice. Yeah, the teenagers now. I think their generation is the alphas is what people have decided on. Wonder how
The
much.
alpha.
Yeah, the alphas is because the current the ones that are just below me are the Zoomers. I'm a millennial, and then after Z comes A, I guess. So Zoomer Alpha. I think that's how they decided it, but not
Oh,
sure.
cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
curious
Yeah.
how they're gonna turn
Guess,
out nowadays.
buddy. Yeah. Another one is always tell the truth no matter what, but be tactful.
I see.
What happens is if you always tell the truth, then you're being your honest self. And the people who are upset with you will get out of your life because they don't belong in your life because of the truth that you speak. And the people who stay are the people who accept you as you are, as you really are. But whenever you're telling the truth about something, consider other people's feelings, so be tactful about it. But generally speaking, always tell the truth no matter what. Just try to be tactful about it. You don't have to speak and speak your truth. Or maybe you do. Now you got me running off on memes here because the next one that comes to mind is Jordan Peterson, who said, if you have something to say, it's dishonest not to say it. Whenever you really feel like this is something people really need to know, and if you don't say it, then you're being dishonest. So, so all this weaves together somehow. I'm sure I don't know what, but they're just things that stick in my mind that there's a lot of good things out there to do, but do what you think is the right thing to do. Always be honest. Do what you think is right.
Got it. Sounds like you like quotes from like some quotes from people that you listen to kind of stick in your head. That's the sort of
Yeah.
advice that you
Yeah.
like.
Whenever something that's wise, that's truthful, those are the kinds of things that I've been searching for all my life. And some of them have stuck in my head. So yeah.
All right. Similar vein to the last one. What advice would you give to your teenage self?
My teenage self, Lord, I was a wild one. Um, well, the first thing that comes to mind is don't listen to everybody and don't believe everything they say. But then at the same time, listen to people and see what their truth is, you know. And maybe I tell myself, settle down. Um, I went to three different high schools, so I never really made any firm and fast friends. So um, I barely remember anybody from any of my high schools. Um, yep, that's pretty much what I would tell myself is, settle down and listen, I guess maybe I would say be selective about who you listen to. Listen to the people who are wise and, don't listen to the assholes. And yeah, I'd say a lot of things to me. No one thing. What one thing would I tell myself? No. Um,
So three high schools though, quite a few.
three high schools. I went to um, Callaway County High School in uh, right there in Murray, Kentucky. I did my freshman year there, played basketball. Um, and then I went to Three Oaks High School for my sophomore year in Michigan, Three Oaks, Michigan. And we lived on the shore of Lake Michigan at that time in a house that once Carl Steinbeck lived in.
Hmm.
And he wrote part of his biography of Lincoln there. And his biography of Lincoln is really famous because it's a really, really good story. And that was a great experience living on the shore there, going out, just all kinds of things. Catching I forget what they're called. There's little fish that come in and run up the streams on the shore, and we catch them and we fry them up, and that was really good. Just little fingerlings. I forget what we called those. And then also in the wintertime, it was right next to Warren Dunes State Park, right across the creek from Warren Dunes State Park. And they had these huge sand dunes there. And in the winter, the sand dunes, you know how sand dunes get big, tall, and would, it was like a real steep hill. And then that would get coated with snow. And we get out the toboggan and just kind of get out to the edge. And two or three of us would get on this toboggan and get to the edge, and it would go whoop, like this, and then whoosh. So it's like just like they show in the cartoons, man. It was like whoop, whoosh. And we were going real fast down at the bottom of that thing. And I remember I was the guy up front, and my legs were stuck under the turn where the toboggan is turned up in front. My knees were tucked up under there, and I saw this. Um, we were going way too fast when we got to the bottom of the hill, and I saw this big log that we were going to hit, and thought, oh my gosh, my legs are stuck under this thing. I'm going to get broken legs. So I was fighting to get my legs out from underneath of those things. I don't think I quite did it, but I got it enough out that my legs didn't get broken. But boy, they were sore for days. And whenever we hit that log, it was like everybody just went, the toboggan stopped and everybody just went rolling through the snow, you know. classic Calvin and Hobbes uh, crash down at the end bottom of that sand dune. So
Was the toboggan okay?
toboggan actually survived. It did crack. Um, the front end cracked, but it was okay. We could still ride it and stuff. So, but that turnip thing had a crack in the bottom. I must have really hit it hard, or somebody must have hit it hard. I know I hit it hard because both of my legs just below or just above the knees were really sore because that's where I hit. So
Doesn't sound fun.
yeah,
So these dunes are on the shore of the lake? Is that where they were?
yeah, it's Warren Dunes State Park, so it's like more than one dunes back there, and we went and found the biggest, steepest one that we could find. Climbed up on that and came down that. We didn't do it just once, but we did learn to figure out, okay, we need to avoid those logs down there at the bottom of the hill. So we found someplace else where we could go and it would just take us sliding way out there. So
So you didn't
yeah,
give
it
up
was
after that
fabulous.
first one.
Yeah, yeah. We were big sledders.
I'm
Yep.
guessing that the dune base that you chose wasn't facing the lake either, so you didn't end up in the lake in winter.
Actually it was, but it was back far enough from the lake so that we never made it out there. It was,
Okay,
you
okay.
know, end up a couple hundred yards from it still. So yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it was fabulous. It was a great experience. And then the third high school I went to was Danville High School. And I went to there my junior and senior years and played basketball there, ran track. And that's where you know, actually I set the record for the quarter mile at Callaway High School, although I never did hear if that was official. But and then at Danville High School is where I jumped the 23 feet, except that I scratched just like 1 inch or something. So, but yeah, I was into track and field in all those schools, all 4 years. I lettered and in those two sports. I always got there too late to get into the football. I always wanted to play football. I would have been a great football player, I think. And I wasn't much into baseball, so I didn't play baseball. Uh,
All right.
So, yep,
Diverse
that's
high
me.
school
That's
experience.
Danville High School, Danville, Ohio. That's where it was. That's where I
Yeah.
was.
That's the name I'm familiar with because that's where a lot of the Anis live nowadays around Danville and Ohio.
Yeah, and Apple Valley and Mount Vernon, Ohio. Yep.
All right. Well, those were the three questions this time. Not super deep
You got
topics, I
any
don't
other
think,
questions?
but
You got any other
uh
questions you want to? Yeah, if you
uh
want to ask a question in the future, and if you think of something, just go ahead and write it down and add it in there. Okay.
yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah, I'll come up with something. I got questions around here too, besides just this thing. I think that was the from the Tails thing. Let me reach over here and get this. These questions we've been doing are from the Tails um, package here with these guys. Let's see. Oh, can you see that? Too bright. There it is.
There it goes.
Yeah. So, and the ones we've been doing, and now that was the end of the early life questions. And now the next set of questions, a big, thick part of this is about midlife and stuff that they're asking. So, but feel free to ask about any part of life or anything.
Will do.
Okay. Hey, thanks for talking to me tonight.
Yeah, of course.
And I look forward to doing this again next week.
Yeah.
Hello to all the ancestors who probably will never see this anyway, but those who do, thank you for watching. We love you.
Bye.
Okay. Okay. Take it easy. Love you. Bye bye.
Love you. Bye bye.